back again. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, another Nottingham Forest interview. And yes, another Nottingham Forest player in Aaron Davies. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Ben. How are you?
I've been better. I've been better with Nottingham Forest results, but
I should have.
It's fine. But yes, like I said, this is Aaron Davies, ex-Nottingham Forest player. But Aaron, I want to start with. I know you've asked people asked you so much about. You want to start with your Yeovil days. That game in the playoffs, Forest were 2-0 up at your ground. What was it like? Like from the start of the game, like you're 2-0 down, you come to City ground. What was you feeling at that time?
Well, we felt a bit harshly done by in the first leg. We thought we played well. Ended up on the back of a 2-0 defeat. And then obviously we had Russell Slade, that is a big Forest fan and lives in the city. Yeah, and knows a lot about the history, etc. Game plan was literally get up, try and quiet the crowd, and nick an early goal, and it literally worked out perfect. And then that game was back and forth. It was mentally draining, for both sets of fans and players. But it was probably the game I remembered for.
You upset me and every single Forest fan there. I bet does quite a lot of Forest fans still talk about it to you about it.
Oh yeah, people still bring it up now. When I'm in the city and in West Bridgford and stuff. But it's all quite jovial and light-hearted now. But at the time, it was literally we went there with nothing to lose. We knew the pressure would be on Forest, and obviously for playing for Forest a year later, what it's like when people come to the City ground. And it was a free hit for us. Gaffer just said, go out, look, express yourself. Everyone, quite the crowd, and we had a good team back then, and we fancied ourselves, and it was a mental game. We just picked you at the end.
I remember that I said you scored. You started the game with your goal. What was it like? Just like I think you scored the first goal, you scored the last goal. What was it like? Just the whole Forest fans just like quiet. What was your feeling when you scored?
Well, scoring the first one, it was adrenaline. It was like, game on, we can do this. It's every young lad's dream to play at Wembley. So that was just the goal selfishly, just to win that game and try and get to Wembley and scoring the winner. In front of the Yeovil fans, it was outstanding. So my mum's passed now, and it's one of my my lifelong memories of scoring in front of my mum and seeing her jumping up and down, and fully grown men sort of crying and stuff. And
I was crying out. I was crying, and you upset me.
yeah. Even then, walking off the pitch and sort of doing a little lap, and there was Forest fans that stayed and sort of clapped us off and said well done. There's a few that said a few other things that I don't blame them, but even then it was sort of good memories of the City ground, because a lot of Forest fans showed their class and wished us well and stuff. And even after that, we stopped off in the Asda in West Bridgford, which ended up being my local for shopping after that. And
okay,
to get a few tinnies and a bite to eat sort of thing. Because Russ knew the area well, and even then, those Forest fans, in the Asda, then just saying, "Look, well done, lads," and best sort of thing.
Right. So now, after the Yeovil game, Forest was interested in you. How long did it take you to know that Forest was interested in you and Chris Cohen?
Yeah, well, there was a little whisper in the January, just in the papers down in Yeovil, etc. I didn't have no contact with my agent, and back then you were just concentrating on your football. If your agent rang you, he rang you, sort of thing. But I did have a phone call before the final saying, look, just go and enjoy the final, but I have got a club that will come and pay, probably the amount that Yeovil want to take you. And that's Nottingham Forest, but just go and enjoy the final. And there was a number of other clubs looking at us there and see where it takes you, sort of thing.
Was it Leicester? Was it Leicester?
Yeah, because it was going to Leicester. Yeah, probably come on to that in a minute. Yeah, but
yeah.
I just tried not to concentrate on that. I took it as a compliment, but just tried to go and get over the line with Yeovil and finish what we started. But we got absolutely slapped at Wembley. We just didn't turn up. We got slapped. It was one game too far for us. I think the Forest, took too much out of us, and we had players that sort of carrying injuries and niggles, and we didn't have the squad to go and compete with Blackpool. And they did a job on us. To be fair, they did a job on us.
So, like I said, when Forest made a bid for you and Chris Cohen, and as you know, Leicester made a bid as well. What was your first thoughts? Was you like tempted to go to Leicester or Forest? What was your thoughts?
Do you know what? I was sort of like governed by my agent then. I just concentrated on my football. But me and Chris were obviously speaking in the background. We had different agents, but I was always leaning towards Forest, and so was Chris. And it took a while for the deal to get done because there was different agents involved, etc. But I've always got good memories of the City Ground. When you come there playing for Yeovil, it's like the game of the season, and you're always looking forward to it. You're buzzing for it. You just drive into the ground. It's always full. Atmosphere is top drawer. So I was always leaning towards that. And I think that's how the deal was sort of devised. I didn't have nothing to do with that. Even going up to Forest when I signed, I didn't even ask what money I was earning. I didn't have a clue. It was just like,
really,
just get this done, sort of thing. Yeah. I know. Okay. Back then I didn't ask about money. If Nottingham Forest want I was like, Jesus, just get in the car. I remember the drive in on the A453. I met my old man, and he drove us in. So I had to meet Colin. I think the lads were flying out to Austria for pre-season, so. He said, "Get up." Stayed in the Jury's Inn, opposite the Hooters, and met Colin. It was ridiculous. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I had a chat with him. My dad had some breakfast, and that was top drawer. And then we had to wait for Chris to come up, and he took his time coming up. I don't think he got up till like 3 in the afternoon. So we had a lap of the ground, lap of the training ground, did it all again. But my man came up, he absolutely loved all that. Just getting shown around the City Ground, and he was like, Jesus, you're signing for Nottingham Forest here. He sort of he's pinching himself, sort of thing. And it was amazing, really. How it happened. It happened so quickly. I just packed the bag, got in my car, and left my house in Yeovil and never been back, sort of thing.
So you signed for Nottingham Forest. What was your first training session like? Did all the Forest players get to know you and all that?
Yeah, it was a little bit daunting because obviously it was out in pre-season in Austria, and we'd both signed. I think we flew from Stansted or something. It was a long day the day before. I was up early in the morning and signed and waited for Chris. So his agent at the time drove us back down to Stansted. We flew out to Austria. And the boys were like mid training session, so we had to do a walkover, and they stopped training. He was like, "Oh no!" The gaffer sort of introduced us, which we didn't need no introduction. It was a little bit frosty, and I think Chambo cracked the joke or something, but then it was fine. But Chris was in. Just we had a bite to eat lunch and went back out and did a second session with lads, and I was absolutely buzzed, a little bit nervous, but more adrenaline and just looking forward to getting going, sort of thing. So I was buzzing, to be fair, and the last sort of 4 months at Yeovil I was cooking and high on confidence. So I settled in well. It was a bit daunting, that initial walk over. Me and Chris were like speaking like oh shit, but it was top drawer, and we had top lads that year. They were very good footballers, but even better people, sort of thing. So they were sound.
So your Forest debut. Do you remember your Forest debut?
Yeah, I remember it well. Oldham at home. Yeah, on a Tuesday night.
How did you feel like just playing in a red shirt? I
was buzzing. It was difficult for me because obviously I got injured up at Motherwell, which set me back, and that really hampered my time at Forest. Really, I was flying and felt like if you'd got the best version of me, it would be like I'd still be there, I think. All in hindsight. But I was buzzing for it. But looking back now, I think it was too early for me in terms of where I was fitness. I enjoyed it. I loved it, and I went through and nearly scored. I think I put past the post, but I remember I was just blowing. So it was perhaps a bit too early for me. But it was. You played at the City Ground as an opposing player, and it's the mindset's totally different to when you're playing for us. But I absolutely loved it. I just wish it could have worked out different for me in terms of being able to be fit and stay fit. But that wasn't through lack of effort or trying. It just couldn't get fit for love nor money, sort of thing. And that's it was a frustrating time.
Like so you mentioned about your injuries. I know you, like I said, you've had loads of injuries. Like, was you frustrated? Like I said, you didn't get more time on the pitch. What's the worst injury you had?
Yeah, well, the injury at Motherwell, that was just a frustrating one because I was running and just had a little nudge off the ball and just had like a real sharp, like felt like an electric shot got my legs. So I tried to play on for a couple of minutes, and then I've got Lenny shouting at me like, I said, what's up with you? We're having and I said, I've got to go off. I said, I'm struggling anyway. He's like, well, get off then. So I got off, and I just had this mad shooting pain up my leg. And I'd never had it before. I'd never missed a day's training, basically, apart from the odd dead leg and stuff. My whole sort of senior career, and then just went back into the dressing room. Steve Devine was there. Give us a drink, give us some ice and stuff. And said, the doctor will be in now. He just come in and looked at my leg and said, that's broke. I was like, what do you mean it's broken? Like, just didn't expect it. If you broke your leg, I'd much preferred just a clean break sort of thing. But I had a spiral fracture through the bone and chipped some off the side. So it was just frustrating. And I had to sit on the bus all the way back from Scotland with my leg absolutely pounding.
Was the players giving you stick for it with your broken leg, or just?
No, not really. It was just. When someone says you broke your leg, I couldn't get my head around it, because you think when you break your leg, you broke it sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's painful and the tackle. But no, their doctors come in and said, I broke your leg. But I remember the long trip back to Nottingham, and then I had a x-ray when I got back. So we got back like late to the QMC and waiting for an x-ray there. And, there was an incident in the hospital, which was very pleasant. And I was waiting there for an x-ray, but I was thinking, this is sort of crazy. And then, for it's probably for about a month after that, I was having x-rays, MRI scans, etc. Until it actually showed up that what had actually happened with the breaks. It was quite frustrating, because I even remember like a few weeks later when they had the open day at the ground, they said you're a new signing, etc. If you can just do some, I was actually doing volleys on the pitch and stuff with a broken leg. Yeah, so
wow,
it was frustrating. Yeah, and that was sort of me in my head thinking, nah, it's not broke, because being diagnosed with just a severe bruising and loads of scar tissue and just a build up of cloggage at the bottom of my ankle. It was massive, but yeah, it was frustrating. I think that's had a knock-on effect of everything. Then, and then I come back. I remember I did my hamstring at Crewe. That sort of written that season off. I think I played about 15, 20 games in the end, and we got promoted, which was the objective, which was top draw, because it was a difficult season. It's a lot of pressure on you. And
it was a difficult season.
Yeah, we felt it, and then at one point it looked like we weren't even getting in the playoffs. It was off. This is not going to plan.
I think it was, what game was it? I think I remember it was Carlisle games. I think Carlisle were doing fantastic that season, and everyone, I think even myself was thinking, Forest not going to beat Carlisle. And I remember, was it 2-0?
Yeah, I remember looking at the table and he's like, what's going on here, sort of thing. I think it was like 6 games to go. I think we won all 6, if I'm right.
You did.
I might be wrong, but we literally went sort of people writing us off, which may have helped us. Then we won 6 on the spin, and obviously ended up going up last game of the season, beating Yeovil at home. So it was, it's gone full swing, sort of thing.
Let's say you was at Forest for a while. As you know, you had a fantastic relationship with Chris Cohen. Was there any other players that you had a really good bond with?
Do you know what? I got on well with all the lads. We had like an unbelievable group of just sort of young lads, and just top people. The atmosphere that we generated was top draw. I got on well with all the lads from Nottingham, like Cal, Wes, Jules, just top lads. Matt Lockwood.
Matt Lockwood.
Yeah. So he was sort of injured with me. All of them, obviously, Chrissy's, one of my top pals. Everyone we all had like different, ways about us. We had like Holty that was just funny and dry. You had Jules that was loud and boisterous. Wes that just giggled to everything. Kelv, just like an old man, but like unbelievable. Then you got Lenny, Sammy Klingon, Chris like Chamber. I probably missed out a few there, which
Junior Go-Go.
Junior, top man.
Rest in peace, Junior Go-Go.
Rest in peace, yeah. Unbelievable man. I just used to laugh at him all the time. He had an infectious laugh. Incredible character. And it was difficult because everyone, in League One, you should have been playing, and if he was out the team, you'd probably think there was a lot of sulking, etc. But the squad we had that year, it was none of that.
Fantastic,
and I think the gaffer made a point of that when we was out celebrating in Marbella. He even pulled me and said, look, you've played your part. Don't think you're having the levels that you set in training. I hear you on the bus, like how you are with the lads, etc. When you come in, you've done unbelievable. So No, top memories. Top people. I love bumping into the lads. And, I do see a few of them in and around Nottingham, and with social media now, you do sort of know what everyone's up to. So, top people.
Like I don't know if you like, when I think it's especially away games. Did you have a song to sing? If it was the Forest lads.
What like an initiation song?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I did it at Forest.
That's shocking. That is shocking. Everyone.
Yeah. No, we flew out to Austria, obviously, and it was a bit frosty at first. And I remember all the lads like banging on the door saying, "Get your song ready." I think the gaffer looked after us. I don't remember doing one. We must have, because we had like the characters.
Everyone needs to do one.
We would have had the characters that sort of made you do it.
Chambers, McGugan, them kind of players. Right, you know what? Look, last question. With that group of lads, was there any practical jokes that you ever done?
Oh yeah.
What's the worst one?
In fact, I've left one of my best mates out there, Joe Garner. Obviously, he came the year after. Yeah. Yeah, so one of the best things that went on, we played Man City in the cup, didn't we? And beat them.
Yeah, 3-0. Yeah.
So we got there early the day before. Stay, I don't know, it was Wimsey or somewhere like a nice sort of like affluent area, like South Manchester or somewhere, wherever it was. So we got up there early, just went into the little village or town, whatever it was. Just back then we used to just like sit, just have a Diet Coke or something in a pub, whatever, just to kill our hour of coffee, something like that. On the way back, like we're walking back with Gans, there's a fishman that like on the way back, like last shop, I think it was closing up, so we just literally bought all the last like remaining fish in there. It was like this massive cod, about 12 quid's worth, with a massive like all the head on and everything. So we got back, we got the keys to Chambers' room, and Gans just threw that fish like under his pillow, like under the second pillow. Yeah, so you probably wouldn't have, unless you put your arm under that pillow, you wouldn't have known it was there till that night. And then I don't even think we had group chats back then like you do now.
No, not now.
It was just like he knew who it was. It was Gans, so that was Chamber wasn't too happy. He didn't take well. He was like, it's a shambles. Like night before a game, example, like you taking the mick, etc. But that fish was going around the training ground for a good 2 weeks in people's bags, etc. But we ended up beating Man City 3-0. But yeah, Chamber.
I went to that game.
Yeah, I remember that well. And then Chamber off the back of that went in Gans' wash bag. One day he was out with training, coming in late, whatever it was. Emptied his Clinique face wash, so just emptied that out and just filled it up with mayo.
No.
Yeah. So every day when we used to have the shower and see Gans slapping that on his face, like everyone else knew apart from him, obviously. He was just slapping mayo on his face for a good 3 months. So it was top like that. It was top. One of my like funniest memories, which sounds a bit melty, but we used to play that. I can't remember the game, the little Nintendo DS thing with the Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, I remember the game.
Yeah, we used to have that thing, mate. Every one of the lads had it, even if you weren't in computers. I weren't, but I just got one. We used to play that on the bus. Honestly, the bus, the atmosphere going to away games was unbelievable. Everyone just used to be on it, and then towards the end, when it's come to the winner, everyone was screaming on the bus. It was proper like funny times. Obviously, didn't happen, on the way back, but it was top.
As you know, the only goal that you scored was against Crewe at City Ground. What was it like scoring your first goal?
That was amazing. I still got the picture of that in my house.
Have you?
Yeah. My mum had it in her house, so that's obviously been taken and it's in my house now. No, it was unbelievable, and I think I remember going over and celebrating, in front of the A. But it was a nice little finish actually. But
good finish.
Yeah, it was. I remember well. There should have been more, but I do remember that one well. Yeah.
Do you keep any of your Forest tops?
Yeah, I've got them. I was going through my storage of day. I've got a lot of the Forest tops. Tell the kit man, who by the way was unbelievable. He really helped with the atmosphere. He was the funniest man I know. Tell, like, didn't mince his words whatsoever. He's brilliant. He just used to give us all our old shirts, and he looked after us properly.
We'll talk about sometimes. You made one appearance for Wales coming off the bench. But you spent most of the time with under 21s. Like you played with players like Gareth Bale, Chris Gunter. And you was captain. You was captain, weren't you?
Yeah, I was captain. Yeah, for a few games.
What was it like? I know it's under 21s, but what was it like just captain in front of Bale and Chris Gunter?
Yeah. No, it was unbelievable. So I know Guns from a very young age, and obviously Gareth as well. So yeah, Captain Gareth. We played Cyprus and Estonia. And Estonia, and then we obviously went on to do it. There's a funny story actually, which is a bit cringy, but he thought he was coming in on free kicks and stuff, but that was my job. Then he tried taking a free kick off us, but we played Estonia at Wrexham. I said, no, guys, leave this to me, sort of thing, and scored from it. I obviously knew Gareth. Our families knew each other from Cardiff as well, and he came through Southampton, similar to me, and the same scout took us to the club. So, to obviously play in the 21s was top draw, and actually made our debut in the same game as well. And he's gone on to have a decent career, hasn't he?
Oh, not bad. Like you made your senior Wales debut against, was it Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad, yeah.
What was it like? I think it was 79th minute. You've come on. What was it like? What was it like getting called up for the Welsh squad? How old was you?
I was fairly young, so I was fairly successful in the 21s, and I think I was still at Yeovil when I got my call up.
You did. You was.
Yeah, I think I was. And then John Toshak really liked us. I was in all the squads at my time at Forest, and actually when I did my calf in the Morecambe game, the second season, so we played Reading on the Sunday, then Morecambe, ended up doing my calf. But he rang me. I was meant to be starting for Wales that international break, which was about a week later. I think we're playing Georgia at Swansea, and ended up doing my calf, being out for 8 weeks. So he kept calling me up to the squad, and then I think I kept pulling out for more or less a year. He had to wash his hands with me.
Oh, great. Yeah. But like I said, was it a proud moment for you and your family, just playing?
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a friendly, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Still got the shirts, and I felt like I did all right in it as well. Didn't really give the ball away. It was good. I loved all that. If it wasn't for the injury, I'd have gone on to have numerous caps for Wales as well. And depending on how you do in their games, it could have led to other things. But I've played from every level up till first team, so it's nice to have on the CV. But again, a little bit frustrating with timings, etc. on the injuries, because even when I was moving to Forest, John Toshak, can't just call him Toshak. John Toshak, so that was the next step in my career. You're at Nottingham Forest now. For you to be, for my first team, you need to be playing at a club like that. So go and take that move, sort of thing. It was, everything was geared up to kick on at club level at Forest and international level with Wales.
Do you miss playing football?
Oh, massively, yeah, massively. You can't buy. I'm still involved in football now, but you can't explain, sort of, unless you're a footballer and you're in that environment. It's hard to explain. When the bell goes at 5-3 and you go out and you're the roar of the crowd. It's unbelievable. I miss the day-to-day stuff. Seeing the lads. It's a unique environment, and if you're in it, you know what it's like, and it's difficult to explain if you're not in it, sort of thing.
Do you still speak to I know you speak to Chris Cohen? Is there any Forest players that you still?
Yes. Well, more through social media. Chamber put something up the other day. He played, I think, 750 games.
Yeah, seen that.
I just congratulated him on his social media, because that's an outstanding achievement.
Yeah.
And I do see the lads. I play footy with Jules now and again. Speak to Didsy quite a bit, through different various of social media and stuff. But I keep an eye on all the lads. The careers. I've followed everyone, and do follow on their social media. A lot of them got kids now, and sort of retired or close to retiring. But it's nice to see lads doing well.
I know, as you know, lockdown and fans can't go to Ghana. Have you been to any games while I've been in lockdown?
I managed to get to one. I went to watch Lincoln versus Plymouth. Which was just nice to get to a game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out to games ASAP if possible, obviously in a safest manner possible.
When's the last time you've been to visit the City Ground?
I was at the City Ground last season. I watched a number of games last season, and to be fair, whenever I go, they used to win, so I need to go more often.
Please go. You need to win.
No. Whenever I go, they seem to win. So I've been a few times in the home end, and I went wherever I can get tickets. But yeah, they seem to win when I go, mate. So I'll have to make a conscious effort of going more often.
So last but not least, Aaron, like I said, before season 2-4, but like as you know, we've started bad. Do you think with Houghton in charge, do you think it's got to get better, right? Doesn't it? Because he's a fantastic manager.
Oh yeah, he's outstanding in my opinion. You know, he's probably the best man for the job. It's been frustrating. It's probably difficult for him. You know, coming in so late in the transfer window, and I think you made 15 signings. It's difficult. Just need to find a formula and a way to win. Really, there's a lot of expectation, but that's never going to go away, and you've got to try and use that to your strength, really. But you know, it's frustrating to see Forest where they are. But you know, in Chris Hughton, he's proven at that level and above. So for me, it will get better. You know, hopefully sooner rather than later. But without doubt, he's the right man for the job.
Last but not least, Aaron, like I said, you mentioned about the last game of the season when you got promoted. What was it like celebrating in front of the fans last game against Yeovil as well?
Yeah, and that was probably one of my fondest memories. Because it was Cheltenham playing Doncaster. I think it was a game that was going on.
Yeah, Doncaster. Yeah.
Elsewhere that were results dependent, and then it was all geared up for us to go up, and it was just a tough season because rightly so, you're expected to go up and win every game.
Yeah.
And we did get a bit of grief. But I remember going into West Bridgford after, and I can't remember where we had a drink and food, but there's fully grown men, coming up to you and just saying, best day of my life. And you see how, you know what it means to Forest. Obviously living at Nottingham now, you know what it means, in the city for Forest to be doing well. But, for that season, it was more, you've got to get up. It was more not anxious, but anticipation, waiting for it. And then when it did happen, it was unbelievable. Doing that lap round the pitch, it was unbelievable. And seeing the Forest fans in full tilt. From little kids actually up to quite senior people. Forest fans were at all ages. It was outstanding. But I do remember that night. Going into West Bridgford, and it was like, wow, it was carnival atmosphere. It was unbelievable.
Mad. It was mad. I was in my 20s, and I was going mad because, like I said, as Forest fans, I've seen the UEFA Cup days when we got promoted under Dave Bassett and Colin Calderwood. Like I said, it was just amazing seeing that kind of thing. And right now, I feel for younger fans, like they're not seeing it. But that moment, Aaron, it was mad. And I think there's a picture. I think it was you, Junior Gogo, and I think it was over Chris Cohen.
Them pictures will go around quite recently. Yeah, there was one with me. And another top lad, by the way, Matt Thornhill. Matt
Thornhill, yeah. He plays for Baseford, don't he?
Yeah. Top player. We called him Slab. I don't know why his nickname was Slab, but top man. That's another lad I forgot to mention. Outstanding character and real good footballer. He perhaps should have done more in his career. Or like me, actually.
But Aaron, I really do appreciate for you coming on my channel. Like I said, Forest fans, this is Aaron Davies. If you don't know who he is, he's here. But Aaron Davies, it's been a pleasure for coming on my channel.
Cheers, Ben. No, I've enjoyed it, mate. Top, mate.
But like I said, I hope you're doing well in your football career. You're a football agent now, aren't you?
Yeah. So I've been doing that a couple of years.
Yeah, but like I said, fantastic for coming on, Aaron. But like I said, if you're new to the channel, people do hit the subscribe button, like as well. And Aaron Davies, thank you very much for
top draw. Cheers, Ben. Enjoy. Take care, mate. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.